Hi and welcome. Sitting there behind me on the tarmac of Zurich's International Airport is a Diamond DA50RG. And two young pilots from Switzerland will actually be flying this plane all around the world in the next 3.5 months. They will be flying to more than 70 different airports in 37 different countries, while being in the air for more than 200 hours. And in this video we will be taking a look at their airplane together, find out how they want to advertise sustainability with their project, and also eventually wave them goodbye onto their journey around the world. Bear with me because this is for sure going to be interesting. I learned about the plan of the duo only a couple of days ago while scrolling through Instagram and decided to join their info event on that same evening, which they held in German for supporters, sponsors, family and friends. Robin and Matt studied aviation together. Robin now flies helicopters for the Swiss Army, while Matt's an aviation consultant and private pilot. I was thrilled about their mission to circle the Earth and decided to share it with you. The two invited me into the hangar the next day to introduce themselves, talk you through their plans and showcase the aircraft.
I'm Matt. I'm Robin. And together we want to fly around the world in a DA50. The DA50 is Diamond's newest airplane. It's certified for a maximum takeoff weight or takeoff mass of 1,999 kilograms. And it's a 5-seater, and it's a single-engine piston aircraft, which is also well suitable for soft field and short field operations. The aircraft is equipped with the Continental CD300, Continental latest engine. It's jet fuel burning, very fuel efficient. We'll be running it at around 11 gallons for the normal range operations, and long range will go to 9 gallons, and it delivers still a lot of performance for these very impressive fuel figures.
I first saw what eventually became the DA50 showcased in Friedrichshafen in 2018, when the plane still had a fixed gear, a less powerful engine and a remarkably hideous paint job. The DA50RG then received certification in 2020. Its airframe is entirely made from carbon fiber and shares the same fuselage with its bigger sister, the twin DA62. The DA50 now competes against the Cirrus SR22 series, which has been dominating this market segment for years.
Special about the DA50 is its capability to fly at low speeds. The controllability is very good even if you fly really low due to the vortex generators that we have over the wing here. And also special for a plane of this size is the double slotted flaps. They just look cool on approach.
So it's equipped with the latest G1000 NXI avionics suite. Very cool feature, the keypad, which just makes entering flight plans super quick, and also in flight, if you have a change from ATC on your route, you're really extremely quick in implementing that.
Now looking at their homepage of the plane itself, you'll find the two make a big fuss about the whole sustainability thing. Can you seriously say flying with more or less classic technologies around the world can be sustainable? Well, spoiler alert, they can. But of course you might still be asking how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, you talked a lot about the sustainability aspect that you mentioned yesterday also, with the aspect of using as much sustainable aviation fuel as possible. For those who never heard that term before, what is sustainable aviation fuel?
Sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, is an alternative to fossil fuels. It's produced from different sources, for example waste, or then in the near future also from electricity and CO2, which is captured from our atmosphere. So that would make aviation and the fuel production with SAF a carbon neutral or let's say a closed carbon cycle process.
So the idea is not to actually put in 2 tons of battery into a plane like this, but still fly with regular fuel, but not from fossil sources, right?
The advantage of liquid fuels is the energy density by mass, 60 to 100 times higher than with current battery technology. And you need that energy density to fly long distances, as Robin and I are intending to do.
Now, I guess on your trip around the world, you will come to destinations where that new fuels, sustainable aviation fuel, is not readily available at all time. You try to make this entire trip as carbon neutral as possible. How do you work when you have to rely on fossil fuels on your trip?
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be ecological viable to have SAF shipped to all of the airports around the world, which we're intending to stop. So we're using Jet Aviation, our partner's book and claim system, which is a virtual SAF fueling platform, which would then actually bring the amount we're fueling in terms of fossil fuel. It will bring the same amount of SAF into the global aviation system at location where SAF is available.
You're partnering with MyClimate, which is a Swiss company who works to compensate emissions. How does that work, and what are the projects that you're working with in that regard?
Yeah, MyClimate compensates the emission that we actually create. So on top of having the whole trip SAF sponsored by Jet Aviation will be CO2 or almost CO2 neutral due to MyClimate. And one of the projects that we will be visiting is in the Dominican Republic, where they replaced a coal plant with a solar plant, which in the end also has the same impact regarding CO2 emissions.
MyClimate comes in mainly for our fellow pilots who are still operating on avgas, who probably won't have an alternative fuel readily available in the upcoming years. However, where electrified aviation, as for example with the new DA40, which is being electrified, will take over. So for them, for that period where they need to rely on fossil fuels, we have developed together with MyClimate an emission calculator and compensation tool where they can both calculate but then also offset the emissions that they create with their flights.
Okay, perfect. Because when I fly privately, I had that kind of issue. I wanted to try the compensation for one of my flights, but when you visit the MyClimate homepage, you can't just enter like avgas 10 liters or something. So you set up a calculator for private pilots on your homepage.
Yeah, exactly. So we faced the same issue. We looked at the topic in spring 2021 and we realized, okay, there's nothing really there. So we said, let's try and develop something. And I think what we have set up now is definitely not perfect, but it's a really good start.
The example calculation you see here is to compensate for a 1-hour flight in a Cessna 172S. Compared to the overall cost that comes with flying privately, the €3 it will take to do that is really not a lot, which is why I decided to use this calculator and MyClimate to compensate for all my private flights, including those I do here on this channel from now on. By the way, if you were using automotive fuels, for example in a road tax engine, the CO2 emissions per gallon or liter of fuel will be somewhere between the one for jet fuel and avgas, so you can just use jet fuel for your calculation to be on the good side. Guys, please make sure to follow the two on their epic voyage. You'll find a live update on their position on the website, including the information about the sustainability projects they're looking at right now. You'll find all the links to their resources down in the video description. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and as always, many happy landings out there.